Welcome everyone, it is episode 25 of this Treasure Inside Edition. I am joined with the management, which is unusual because we haven't been here for a few weeks today. But the management, where have you been the last few weeks?
Oh, I have been here, there, and everywhere. I went to Vegas and lost the money you found. And then I've just been absolutely whirlwind. I got a new job. I am here today and I'm excited and recharged.
Okay, well, on a more lighter note, I'll give my Vegas roundup. We did not go to Vegas at the same time. It was separated by a weekend, but I went to Vegas. My usual strategy is win some money in poker, take it to the craps table, and lose it at the craps table with my friends when we're playing craps. And the universe did not comply. I won money at poker, but then I also won money at craps. So I ended up winning about $1,000. So it was a very good trip to Vegas.
Also, I was the only loser in my whole friend group. So I made donations at 13 different casinos is what I figured out. So
That's great. Well, we've got a bit to update now. I've got to go through a treasure hunt token hunt. And also, we're going to bring Matt in tonight. So, Matt, I'm really looking forward to speaking to him. Matt has been all over the country looking for this treasure inside boxes. And based off this treasure inside, he has also created his own hunts. So, I really want to hear from Matt to see what he's been up to.
yeah, I love how he's doing it at the same time that Treasure Inside is going on. So, like John Collins Black, obviously was inspired by Forrest Fenn, so he did it after. But the Seven Paces guys, they're like, no, we're doing it at the same time, so you get double bang for your buck.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Let's get speaking to him in a second. Let me get through the treasure hunt episode 24 hunt first. Okay, so for those who clicked on the link in the show notes, it took you to a page where there was a bear playing on a slot machine. Now, this one to me was relatively easy to get to the right web page, but I had a bit of fun within the web page of where the answer was. So if you Google Black Bear Casino, you will see that there's the Black Bear Casino Resort. That was the website you had to get to. The bear is actually playing slots. If you scroll down, there's a slot machine in one of the photos, and one of the titles of one of the slot machines is Ocean Spin. And that was the answer to episode 24's hunt. Again, it made sense, right? It was gettable. Do you agree?
It was gettable, but I like how you're like building up the listeners. Like it wasn't like blackbearslots.com. Like you added a little bit of twist. They had to go to blackbearcasino.com this time. So you're keeping people on their toes and I like it.
Good, good. Okay, so again, we'll put up another hunt in the show notes. Go and play it. We have one for free, and we usually have one where you need treasure hunt tokens to play as well. Okay, moving on. Do you want to bring Matt in so we can start to talk to him about his experience with this Treasure Inside edition?
Yeah, let's get down to business. I'm excited to learn about Seven Paces and what they got going on.
Okay. Matt, come on in. I want to talk to you. You've got a lot to talk about, it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Thank you guys very much. I've got whatever you'd like to talk about. Let's do it.
Well, let's talk about your treasure hunting history. First of all, you said you have a treasure hunting name called Phoenix, which I love, and no one's ever called you Phoenix before. So maybe we'll run with it. Maybe you just be Phoenix from now on in the treasure hunt community.
Everybody's got these cool treasure hunting names. I thought I needed to come up with something.
I don't
So I
have one.
came up with Phoenix, but yeah, nobody's ever called me it, but we use it in the book as my name.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so how long have you been into treasure hunts? Since your childhood, or is it more recent?
Well, I guess you could say since my childhood in terms of like, the just for fun things and solving puzzles, solving riddles. But I got involved with these more, sophisticated ones, planned ones like Forrest Fenn. I wasn't super involved with Forrest Fenn's treasure hunt, but that's what put him on the radar for me. I got super involved in looking for him with this TTI book, but actually prior to that, I started creating treasure hunts.
So when did you start creating treasure hunts? And was it just for your friends, or were you trying to make a business out of it?
Both. So I started creating them for my daughter, and I still create them for my daughter and
Awesome.
son. Um, and then around 2022, I decided to try to create one as a business.
So you have a partner you do this with, right?
Correct. His name's Redbeard.
Ha ha.
Okay, so that's his call sign. So you've been making these hunts now. I looked on your website. We'll get to this in a second. Seven Paces Treasure Hunt. You've been making these treasure hunts since about 2022, which is about the same time I started Treasure Hunt Tokens. So you've been doing this for about 3 years now, right? Creating treasure hunts for people.
Yeah, absolutely. Under 7 paces. That's exactly right, Chaz.
So what is it that you like about doing it? Is it the fact that you know the answer to the hunt and you're the only one that knows the answer along with your creator and you can just watch people meander through it? What is it that you actually like about creating the treasure hunts?
I like all sorts of stuff, including what you just said. I also like learning about things, and so doing the research and then trying to be creative.
Yep.
It's really a creative outlet, and then you see if the way your brain works, if anybody else can like think of
Yes.
ways that you think.
That's funny because a frequent guest of the show, Mr. Estes Quest, said to me that he started making treasure hunts because when he was a kid, he had a lot of creative pursuits. And then when he grew up and became a professional and started working, he realized that those creative outlets started to go away. So when he creates these hunts, it's his creative outlet. Just like painting or making music, creating treasure hunts is his way of making that outlet for him to be creative in that way. It sounds like it's similar for you as well.
Yeah, I like to think of myself as a creative person, but who knows if I really am. I own a restaurant. I create recipes all the time,
Wow.
pizzas specifically, right? And
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of creative ways to market the places and those sorts of things, and just have fun in life in general. And so this certainly is a creative outlet for me, and then also the learning aspect of it, and trying to be somewhat intelligent when you do it. And then it is really really fun to see other people like trying to connect the dots.
So you're a watcher. You sit back and you watch everything that's happening, which is something that I'm finding is different between all the different creators. Like Forrest Finn was very involved. John Collins Black is kind of like, you guys, I just put it out there now, he's being cool guy about it. And then Justin Posey's somewhere in the middle of providing feedback. So you like to watch and do the voyeur thing from the background. Do you have secret accounts? What are
Well, so that's a great question, and I wasn't always allowed to watch because in some of the earlier treasure hunts that we did, it wasn't in these online forums, and so it really drove me crazy, wondering if people were how they were thinking about things and how they were connecting dots. But now with this latest treasure hunt that we're going to talk about a bit, which we piggybacked off of the AT box for, and I can see it on the online forums. It's super exciting. It drives me crazy. And when I think about John Collins Black watching some of these things, I can't even imagine if he's, oh, they're so close. They're so close. Oh, they missed it. Or, oh, they're down this hole. No, yes, no, yes, hotter, colder, that sort of stuff.
I think it's
It's
more like
fun.
for me, it's if they were way, way off and everyone's following them down that path. I would just be like, don't listen to them. It's wrong. Everyone's doing it wrong. It would drive me crazy as well.
I do like to watch and see if people are connecting it, but it hasn't always been the case that I've been able to. So it's more like in my mind, like, I wonder if they're over here or over there, or if they fell for that red herring I put in there to drive them to this statue, but it really meant that statue.
Spoiler alert, folks, there are red herrings. He just announced it.
Well, there always has to be, right?
No,
No, I'm not a fan of, I'm not a fan of red herrings.
some people say that they don't intentionally put red herrings, but obviously you do. It's a personal choice.
Yeah.
I was going to say though that I think this is something that maybe only creators of hunts will understand, that there is a special connection with the hunt creator and the hunters, in that you mentioned that in one of your first answers here when we were talking about how they have to walk down the same thought processes of what you created in your brain, and in some ways they have to connect with you on that level of going through your brain, right? So it creates this weird relationship, I think, of with hunters and the hunt creator, that you have this connection that you wouldn't think would exist except for making hunts. Do you get that feeling as well?
Absolutely. I feel this immense pressure that I want to create something awesome so that when they are figuring it out and thinking about it, they go, "Oh, this is really fun," or "That was really creative," or "Really clever," or "I think he's, putting these things together." I want them to enjoy it and also feel like it is done smartly.
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, let's get on to this treasure inside, because that's the name of the podcast. We'd love to get your insights as a hunt creator and a hunter yourself on this treasure inside. So walk me through it a little bit. When did you first hear about this treasure inside? When did you get the book? When did you start hunting?
So I have a partner in my treasure hunting seven paces business, Redbeard, and he came into my restaurant shortly after Christmas with this book. He sets it down on the bar, orders a pizza and a beer, and I go, "What's that?" And he goes, "Take a look." And I open it up and I'm like, "It's a treasure hunting book." And he's like, "Yeah, you want to borrow it for a couple days?" He knows that allowing me to do that is going to hook me immediately.
Love it.
He gave you a little taste.
He runs into my wife like 2 weeks later and he apologizes to her and is like, "I'm so sorry I gave Matt that book. I know he's like in it all the time now." And so I got the book from this buddy and I started reading it and I went all in, probably January.
So, what attracted you first? Which of the smaller hunts or the lion's share attracted you the most? And what drew you to one of those hunts?
Uh, so two, I jumped into the AT box or the Appalachian Footpath box and the lion's share. So
Okay.
I read the whole book like he says you should do at the beginning of
I
it.
do not listen to directions
And
at all.
that's fine. I like to read. And so there was a lot there to read and it was interesting. So I read the whole book and I was jotting down some ideas in my notebook. And then I read through the other boxes. And Justin Redbeard, my partner, he says to me, there somebody thinks they know where that trail is in Vermont, and he shows me this LRP trail. So boom,
Little Rock Pond.
I'm hooked on it because the beginning of the book talks about his 4-year-old drawing a treasure map. The AT box references his 4-year-old drawing the treasure map or something along the lines of like, coming full circle, and we'll go back to where the book began and da 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 da.
Hmm.
So it kind of ties the two together. I've just read the whole book. I got a pretty good idea what's in there. And then this box is tying back to it. And then my buddy tells me he's got this map. So I'm in on these two boxes, the AT box and the lion's share.
So, what did you do? Like, did you start studying it at home first, like looking things up on the internet? I know your friend shared with you the Little Rock Pond part solve of it that some people think is the solve. But did you do any more research on yourself, or did you just head straight to Little Rock Pond?
I both. I use an app because I do a lot of hunting, Onyx, and I'm sure people are very familiar with it. And so,
That seems to be the most popular app after All Trails got like thrown under the bus.
yeah, I'd never used all trails, but I've saw that it got thrown under the bus. But I've used Onyx for years, hunting in the Midwest, in the North, and so I'm super familiar with it. So I go to the LRP area, and with my eyes, I am looking at the map in the book, and I'm following it bend for bend on my Onyx. I know there's a lot of chatter like it's not scaled properly or this, that, and the other, but it lines up. It's pretty much exact. I go up and down the AT trail. I don't see anything else close to it. I research all the other symbols on the map, and I know that they could probably be tied to a lot of the Appalachian states, but they certainly can all be tied to Vermont. So I'm thinking about when I create treasures of my own for people to find, many times I will start broad, say, okay, it's going to be in this city. And then I'll narrow it down to like, it's going to be in a park. And then I'll narrow it down to like, it could be in these parks. And I'm not saying I'm telling them that specifically, but my clues are going from broad to specific. So I'm thinking that way as a treasure hunt creator, and I'm looking at the map and I'm reading the text of the AT box, and I pull out some things from the text as well that lead me to Vermont. The symbols on the map lead me to Vermont. The footpath on the map leads me to LRP, and then I explore further some of the very faint words on the map, as well as some of the other text that I've highlighted. I'd also use a method which is highly um, argued, highly like you can't use the book and the treasure chapter. You have to separate them,
Mhm.
and that's the way it has to be. And I don't believe that. I think you should use and can use all your tools, but I don't. I'm fine too. It's not like I'm gonna argue about it with somebody or what have you. It'd be like me saying like you can build this house with a hammer, and you'd be like, okay, yeah, I can build this house with a hammer. Or you could use all these other tools over here, and somebody be like, no, they said you could build the house with the hammer. We're only using the hammer. So I'm like,
Yeah, it still gives you insight into John Collins Black, even though he has said that each individual chapter of the smaller boxes can be standalone. I could imagine you can still take parts from the whole book of getting insights into John Collins Black, right, and his experiences.
See, that's a fear thing for me, though. I would read into things that are not there. So I'm going to find the things that do line up with what I already believe. And then I'm going to find things that aren't related whatsoever. And then I'm going to try to apply those. And I feel like they're just going to lead me completely astray.
right. And similar to what I said is like if people want to go about it that way, that's fine too. I absolutely believe you could solve it by just using that chapter, like he says. I also know from creating hunts of my own, and say I create a poem, somebody could solve it from the first
Hmm.
line. It doesn't mean that they're going to. It's like read the rest of it because it's going to make it easier. But you certainly could solve this from the first line. I've created stuff like that before. Nobody's ever solved it from the first line, but I could honestly tell them, you could solve this from the first line.
So does that mean your treasure hunts, the clues don't go in consecutive order?
It depends which one. I've done them in all sorts of different manners. So some of them have not gone in consecutive.
How many do you have that are unsolved at this time?
Right now, available to the public, just the Vermont hunt. Otherwise, I've always, even if they weren't solved, I've revealed it. We've revealed it. Or we've given out more clues so that people can solve it.
Well, let me ask you this though. So you said that you saw the Little Rock Pond map trail, which made sense, and then all the other things on the map you could tie back to Vermont. Is there any risk that you already thought it was in Vermont and you have some confirmation bias on those clues? Or did you have some real breakthroughs on some of those pictures where you thought, no, this has to be a clue pointing to Vermont and it's not confirmation bias that I already think it's in Vermont?
Chaz, you're absolutely right. It could be, confirmation bias for what you just described. But I have certainly looked at the other states in Vermont. I didn't just say, then I'm never going to look at them because I'm sticking to Vermont.
Right.
there certainly is a case like, oh, well, South Carolina, this guy, he's describing where he grew up near South Carolina, and it's a mystical, and some of these things can fit there too, and New York and elsewhere. And I eventually traveled to Vermont with my partner, and we looked around LRP, but our specific solve was not on that LRP footpath that's there.
Right.
It's in,
Okay.
Right.
and we have multiple locations that other things have led us to in Vermont, that it's in that region. It could be somewhere close by. We certainly looked on it, and we also looked around other areas.
Well, let me ask you this though. The part I always love about this is when you're looking into the clues and you see something, I know that feeling you get when you've hit on something and your heart starts racing a little bit and you think, wait a second, I'm the only person who can see this right now. I have to go tell someone about this. Did you have that feeling when you were solving the AT box?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I've had that feeling multiple times reading TTI on multiple boxes, including the AT box for sure. It would be like 2 o'clock in the morning. I do a lot of like my research and stuff late in the late at night and early in the morning. I don't get a ton of sleep. I have two young children. I naturally stay up late. My dog gets me up early. So it's like, hey, these are the times when I do it. And I would text my buddy at 1 o'clock in the morning and like, are you awake? Look at this. This is it. I figured it out. We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go now. Sort of a thing. And so yeah, I've had that feeling multiple times on multiple boxes. Hey, also, I'm here talking to you guys. I'm back for Vermont. I don't have the box.
But it's the feeling you get though that keeps you going, right? And I know I've worked on some things in my life late at night, and I always say to people, only people who have started businesses or have worked on ideas know how quiet it is at 2 a.m. in the middle of the night in a house. And so to put that together with the excitement of you finding something is quite a juxtaposition, right? That you've got this silent, quiet house, you've got this feeling of I'm onto something, you can't talk to anyone about it, and you're just sitting there with this excitement, right?
Yes, it's like total excitement. You're going, I'm not going to bed anytime soon. I got three more things I got to tie together here. I got to draw a line on Onyx from here to there. I got to see where the elevation is. I got to figure out the distance. I got to do these things, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the key of connecting with the hunt creator as well. Is the hunt creator is thinking, are people having these feelings? Are they making the connections that I tried to lay out for them? And I think as a hunt creator, if you can connect with that and you know how people are navigating the hunt, like you talked about, they can experience some of that happiness and joy as well to see you coming along and having those feelings. So it's great that you're creating the hunts, but it would be great, I think, for John Collins Black to know how people are going through his hunt and how they're reacting to it.
I think it would be so interesting, like, because you created this hunt off kind of piggybacking off of the Appalachian Footpath hunt. And one of these places that inspired you in Vermont from this hunt, like if the two boxes were within like 200 yards of each other, wouldn't that just be absolutely wackadoodle? And it would drive so many people crazy if they actually accidentally stumbled across your box when they were trying to find the John Collins box, and they're like, "What is this?"
Yes, you're spot on. And so intentionally, I did not hide our box close to places that I thought would be looked at extensively for the TTI box. Having since hit it and coming home and getting back into the research end, I'm like, oh, somebody might find this because I've found some other things that might point them over into this area where we hid
Yeah.
something. But I took that into consideration, management, and I tried to put it in a spot where if I was looking for the scroll, I wouldn't bump into Seven Paces coffee canister.
No, it's a coffee canister, y'all.
It's not a coffee canister. I just said that just as a
Ah, it
joke.
could be. This could be a red herring. We can't trust this guy.
So for the people at home,
Yeah.
you went to Little Rock Pond. You got so inspired by the place there. You've created a hunt under the Seven Paces umbrella, right? That's somewhere around in that area. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct. So we having, being creators of treasure hunts and wanting to search for these TTI things, we said like before we left, you know what? When we go there, we're going to hide a treasure. And we're going to hide it upon our experiences that we come across and in our research doing it. And furthermore, we're going to hide 5 treasure boxes. When we go look for all of these boxes, we're going to hide another one and we're going to create a secondary hunt for every box that's in TTI. And we're going to release it as a piggyback so that if somebody else is traveling from the middle of the country to Burlington, renting a car and driving to LRP like we did, and you get bummed out on day 2, you're like, well, I know there's another hunt kind of could be in this area. It's a little cheaper. It's supposed to be a little easier to find. And now I'm getting a 2-for-1 coming out here, or going to Tahoe, or going to St. Louis, or going to Louisiana, or going to California. And so our intention is to do 5 of them. And the Vermont one is the first one that we released. And if you read the book is called, the book's called A Fortune Lies Within. So we're playing off, there's a treasure inside. And then it's Vermont, right? And so then it's just blatant Vermont. And so in this book, through our other research, through listening to your guys' podcast, there's characters within this community. The management is a character in the book.
Woohoo!
Diego,
Oh,
Diego is a
Diego.
character
That's
in the
awesome.
book.
I don't know if Diego knows that. Does Diego know?
I don't know how to get in touch with Diego. Hopefully he's listening.
I'm gonna tell him. No, I talk to him all the time.
That's so funny.
I talked to him like 2 days ago.
Hey, management or Chaz, on the Discord channel, have you seen the guy who goes under the handle Ross? And
No.
he clearly does tons of research, but he's like way out there, man. Like,
That's my kind of guy. I'm gonna have to look him up.
so we've got a character in the book called Ross, and he's like this crazy local who's got all these wise ideas for us and that sort of thing. And so if you read the book and you've been out to the LRP area, there's places in like Rutland and places in like Wallingford and places in around the trail that would be in kind of in the book, but not exactly in the book. And so you could kind of follow along. So some people we've got a channel on those things that the creators put out for us. And some of these users on there who've got the book and who've read it and like have put their ideas out there. And this is where that voyeur thing comes in. I'm seeing them and I'm getting like really excited. Like, oh, these guys are kind of cracking. Like they understand that, this equals that and that equals this. And it's fun to see. So like if you go to LRP, it's meant to be a fun thing. We're not trying to like rip the guy off or like make $1 million doing this.
No, there's treasure inside adjacent. So if you're going to spend the money to travel to Vermont to go hunt for there's treasure inside, if you don't have luck, you're not wasting your whole time because you get a second bang for your buck.
Yeah, right. That's exactly it. And I mean, if you check out our website or our Instagram stuff, 7 Paces, you'll see we're like fun going guys. But this is meant to be like, hey, let's add to it. Let's have fun. Let's get another thing going.
I'm sure it would be John Collins Black approved. I think it's brilliant. I think it's great fun to add on to the hunt. I think it's a really good idea. And the funny thing is that the Forest Fen hunt, from my understanding, is kind of where John Collins Black thought the Forest Fen treasure should have been. And it's almost like you're doing this for John Collins Black's hunt, right? That you're adding on to his hunt. So it's just kind of allowing the fun to continue. I'm really interested to see how this goes, and I'll keep the audience updated on the different hunts as you create them for the different boxes. And I'm sure John Collins Black would be very interested to see them too. And I think I'm going to buy the book as well. I'd like to get involved.
Oh, absolutely. And hey, just I've already hidden a box out west. I went out west too.
Okay, so is this the official exclusive reveal that there is a box out west somewhere?
In a state of gold.
Absolutely. There's another coffee canister out west.
Uh-oh.
And you were reflecting on a state of gold.
Perhaps. Perhaps.
Okay. Well,
Mm.
that's great. So people can find Seven Paces at sevenpaces.com, right?
Clever.
Can they get to the book from there as well?
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
Where does the name Seven Paces come from?
Oh, I was wondering if you're going to ask that. So, we told you we did the first one in 2022. When we sat around the bar thinking about doing this, we wanted to create 7 treasure hunts at that time. Each one would grow in size exponentially. That it didn't happen, but that's where the name came from. And essentially, it would be 7 paces, each treasure hunt getting larger, with the final one being millions and millions of dollars.
Wow.
But it would require each hunt to be successful. We had a formula for how many participants needed to get involved, and then we would be able to double down and just
Parlay it. Yes.
keep
Parlay
putting
it
it
into
all
another.
back in, all back in,
Yes.
all back in,
Yes.
all the way up 7 paces to this massive, massive hunt. It didn't come to fruition, but that's where the name came from. Maybe someday it still will.
So you're saying treasure hunting as a profitable business plan is not the way to go.
No, but it sure is a lot of fun.
Yes. Well, thank you. Thank you, Matt, because you're obviously not doing it to make a bunch of money. You're putting a lot of energy and excitement into the community just to create fun for people and improve their lives, which is what we need in this world right now. So, first of all, thank you for creating these hunts.
100.
Yes, thank you guys so
Yes.
much for having me. I love the podcast. Chaz was like, "Have you ever listened to an episode?" I'm like, "I've listened to everyone, buddy." Yeah, so
That's great.
keep
Nice.
up the great work. I thoroughly enjoy it.
Yes, we'll have you back on to give us an update on the different ones you've released.
It'd be an honor.
Okay. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Phoenix.
Yeah.
Speak to you later.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Well, that was super fun. I am so honored that the management was included as a character in the book. Like I said, I'm going to have to fact check and see if I was accurately represented, but I think it'll be a cool thing to be a part of.
Well, what do I got to do to get a character? I'm hosting a treasure hunting show here. I guess I got to be a little more lively, come up with a nickname or something to get into the next book.
I know, Chaz McGruver. We decided it was what McGruver. You were like MacGyver's long lost nephew or something.
Yeah. Well, now you're giving him ideas. But no, Matt was a great guy. I love talking to him. Again, I said it to him when he was on talking to us, but I just really love the people we're coming across that we're talking to during this show. People that just have a love for life, not only love enjoying things themselves, but love creating things for other people just to bring joy in the world. I mean, it's a rare feat, but people are doing it, and I'm glad to meet them.
Yeah, and we don't do it on video, but when we talk to each other, we're on video, and it's nice to just see how happy and excited people are to be sharing these ideas with the world, and it's not charged by any other like ideals or message or anything like that other than just pure happiness and excitement for the same hobby.
Yeah, it's great. Well, I think we're going to have to go back through some of our guests and have them on a second time, apart from our regulars, and go and meet them again to
Right.
see where they're at. So let's organize some people to come back and give us an update on where they are. But for this week,
Maybe we can do a round table.
we'd burn all our guests in one go. We don't have that many friends.
Exactly. It's a stand up. Everybody's got 3 minutes to talk about what's going on in their treasure hunt and go.
Okay. Well, that's it for this week. Thank you for listening again. Apologies for the multi-week break, but we had a lot of fun when we were off, and we'll speak to you again next week.
Absolutely. I am excited to talk to you guys more about treasure.
Bye.
Bye.